Alright, this is DeepLore. I am a huge lore baby, and I'm going to take you through my personal mental journey when I discovered the account PERIDOTXJOEBIDENFAN. And this is an account that, although I only discovered it 2 weeks ago, I deeply enjoy it. It's one of the favorite things that I found on DeviantArt. And if you need some background, let me explain. If you might be wondering who is this character, I'll deliver some exposition. Joe Biden is a sex pervert pedophile who's running for president of the United States. He was a United States senator for over 30 years and vice president for 8 years. And he's being OTP paired with Peridot. This is a good pairing because Peridot is from the American cartoon Steven Universe, and that was made for pedophiles by pedophiles. So the genre crossover here is a good selection by the creator. And I want to specifically shout out the creator because I enjoy their style. Sort of the syntax that they use is really good. For example, you can already see it on this page. Love unlike anything else, with 7 periods after it, 2 ellipses, and then another period. That's the sign of an auteur, and I intend to treat them like one. Now, to explain further on what I mean by Steven Universe being a cartoon made by pedophiles for pedophiles, Peridot is a classic reimagining in the American style of a Japanese anime trope called the Shotokan. The Shotokan is small, short, petite, and is fucked by an older man. In this case, Joe Biden is the older man. Peridot is not a boy, technically, because all gems are conveniently both ageless and genderless. This is how you get anime witches who are 1,000 years old with the body of a 5-year-old, and it's okay to fuck them because of that. Peridot is the same concept. And the reason why this was allowed on television is because of social justice warriors. Next, an important bit before I continue, PERIDOTXJOEBIDENFAN versus, as you can see up here, PERIDOTXJOEBIDENFAN 1942. Which is the real account? I'm not sure. But the fact that the original account name was apparently PERIDOTXJOEBIDEN Fan 1942 causes me to suspect that there is a non-zero chance that this is actually this is just Joe Biden's account. He's going senile. And now, without any further ado, let me take you through my journey through this account's content that I enjoyed greatly. First off, you have to start your page with a bang. September 11th birthday, that's really good shit. Go off, King. And their personal page hyperlink says, use this to Google stuff. And if you click it, indeed, it takes you to google.com. They, them pronouns, duh. Gems are genderless, of course. Joe Biden famously says that there are at least 3 genders. I believe he is they, them also. You cannot change my mind. An important note about everything that this person says is that the persona of this character, this account, is in all caps, and the author's notes their true feelings are in lowercase. So all you need to know is that they are a storyteller. And again, taking that caps rule into account, favorite visual artist Joe Biden, movies Joe Biden, TV shows Joe Biden, but this changes in the bands, of course. Five Finger Death Punch, Breaking Benjamin, add System of a Down and Disturbed. Just from an aesthetic point of view, I don't think there was a funnier possible 4 bands you could have picked. And putting the 2 typos in the beginning, or I guess 2 typos in the band names in the beginning rather than the end, and then doing the other 2 correctly spelled, I think was a good touch. And then, of course, reversing course with Joe Biden and Call of Duty for favorite games. Other interest, telling how Joe Biden and Peridot fuck. I don't want to spoil it for you, but we find out later, and it's pretty hot. Okay, let's start from the bottom because that's where I started from. Actually, I take that back. With one exception, I will need to show you this. It is when Peridot meets Carl from Arthur. It's important because Carl is an autistic character from the PBS cartoon Arthur, and he says, by he I mean I guess this guy from Call of Duty Zombies, whose name is, I believe, Richthofen, if I've been inferring correctly. And he frequently pops up in these stories with the moral, and he says the moral here is that while people with autism, blah, 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 deserve to be treated with respect and love, I was diagnosed by Dr. Irby in Jackson, Mississippi with autism, and I can confirm that this is not true. We do not deserve any respect, and love is forever fleeting from us. We should not receive it. With that context, that being said, let me go back to the beginning, because I think that there is some important... there's a good progression here, actually. You can see this person really developed their style. This is the first image. It just says Dairy Queen Grill and Chill. It's good shit. And Peridot, Donald Trump says that they were a team, and that she is only going to vote for Joe Biden. But this escalates very quickly. Bernie Sanders, for some reason, has a rage comic face. Yeah, that's good. That's good shit. The location is where Peridot met Joe Biden. If you try to click this, it takes you to a search page with no results. I think I just discovered that today, actually. I didn't see this when I first looked at this a couple weeks ago. I think it's a really funny touch. And you find out, even though Donald Trump says right here they were a team, Peridot was actually his slave. But Joe Biden is her lover and master, which further anime tie-in. If you don't watch that genre, which is the correct decision, you may not know this, but in anime, when you free a slave, which is always a woman, by the way, or a girl, the next inevitable step is that not to free them, but they become your slave. So that appears to be Joe Biden appears to be Kirito here. And this GIF, which I also didn't see till today, it looks like Obama's face textured over a pyramid in a GIF file. That's pretty good stuff. And this one, there's like I said before, they're still finding their feet here. If you look, Peridot and Joe Biden don't actually show up on PERIDOTXJOEBIDENFAN fans account until image 8. There's a very large gap, and I think they were still trying to figure out their style. This became a hallmark of the style, which is that you can't fucking read anything. The image size is 400 by 222 pixels. You're going to see a lot of this. It's Mary Poppins on the backdrop of course, the terrorist attacks of 9/11, attempting to teach DW the ABCs. This is an interesting example of reverse dramatic irony where DW understands what the actual fuck is going behind me. This isn't a joke. This is terrible. But the author does not understand what's going on, does not have knowledge of the situation. But she says, what is going on in the bag? Oh, man. It's good shit. Moving onwards, we have... Oh, this is a good one, because why the fuck would you pick this? This is another important side character plot, I guess. They don't ever interact until very late in this cycle, but the Transformers often show up on side plots. You cannot read this because no one can until you zoom in. It says, oh my god, this is so sad, I hope everyone is okay. This is not 9/11 or anything related. This is the 2010 Austin IRS building plane terrorist attack, where a disgruntled taxpayer flew a small prop plane into the Austin, Texas IRS building. Bumblebee hopes everyone is okay. They are not. There are 2 dead people in that building. Then you get some very avant-garde shit where Luke Skywalker has Obama as his cut-off hand. This is a YouTube streamer named Germa. I don't know anything about them. And this is where Peridot returns to the narrative. Again, you can't read it because... okay, the pixel... It says the image size is quite a bit larger than before, but it's actually not. I don't know who V and I is, but they have mind control. Trump converts to atheist and starts eating children with Megatro. This is what happens when you don't vote for Biden. However, you say that, but eating children is a pretty small offense compared to what I assume is Peridot threatening to bring Goron down onto Earth, which would wipe out several million people if it indeed impacted in the White House. The ash fallout, the epicenter, would probably kill upwards of 10 to 20 million people. I just figured out now. I've been wondering about this for 2 weeks. I found this account 2 weeks ago. It says, I will kill all those who disobey Atitims Ferivi. I didn't know what Atitims was until just now. It is an elaborate typo of atheism. I like that too. I think that's Joe Biden in the bottom right corner with Satan. I don't know why he's there. He is supposed to be an antagonist. Megatron says, I like this, which is, I don't know where the babies are. That says Holy Bible on it if you really squint, but according to Satan, it says the Bible of atheism. I have a copy myself. It's not a good joke. I am nervous. There's a couple. This is where, oh, yes, of course. There's, first of all, there's Joe Biden Peridot in Lithuania. You can't see him over here because I'm not going to click on it. That is George W. Bush stalking them because he is jealous that Joe Biden gets state Peridot. This is where I really started to respect this creator. This is Joe Biden and Peridot looking at a double-decker bus in England. Why does it say June 8th, 1967 in the top corner? That's the date of the USS Liberty bombing by the Israeli military. I don't know why it's referenced here, but I have tremendous respect for the fact that it was referenced in the first place. And the very next image is the greatest OTP, or one true pairing, that I've ever seen on DeviantArt. It is Plank from Ed, Edd n Eddy with Bernie Sanders. And again, I don't know if this is Richtofen again. It is probably a Call of Duty Zombies guy. Says that even though they're going to hell when they die, this is the moral of the story, gay people are human too, and we should treat them the way that Jesus, blah, blah, blah. Like it says in the Bible, five-finger death punch is, and then it trails off. You will see a lot of this with trailing off in the Richtofen morals. Usually the trailing off is of the authors or the quote-unquote accidental authors following YouTube or Google searches that are inserted at the end as if it were an accident. Of course, we know that this person is far cleverer than that. I am not clever, though, because I did not zoom back out before I went back, so I have to start back at the bottom. We're back to where... Oh, yes, of course. This is... when I said before that no spoilers, we would find out how Joe Biden and Peridot fuck. This is where we do. It is an image titled, Joe Biden comes out as trans. Peridot and Joe Biden are about to have sexy sex time in bed when Joe Biden tells Peridot that she is Tristan's Peridot, no care because the love between her and Biden is too strong to brage. Again, the image size says it's 844 by 473, but I still have to zoom in like 4 times just to see it. Joe Biden is referred to in every other image except for this one, and in all of the descriptions as being a man, so I don't believe that I am misgendering when I continue to refer to Joe Biden as he. I will continue to refer to Joe Biden as he. If you have any complaints about that, go fuck yourself. It says, ready to have sex, Joe Biden, my master. Even though I'm trans, that is another only anime character stutter. Joe Biden does not have a stutter. He has never had a stutter. You love me that much. Yes, master. Fuck my anal cavity. 11 exclamation points. The lesson here is that transsexual people are humans too. Even though they may look weird and may be ugly, they deserve to love and have sex too. I don't like most of what's being said there. Mainly because, as again I said, diagnosed by Dr. Irby from Jackson, Mississippi, as an autistic person, I feel like I look weird and I'm ugly on the inside and do not deserve love or to have sex too. And I don't like that this is being compared to that. My thing, you really doesn't deserve those things. Trans people do deserve those things. I think that's where I realized that this person does not hold bars. They're very serious about this endeavor. And then I got to this. I'm not going to do too much introspection on it. It's just Lapis Lazuli from, again, the cartoon Steven Universe, going to McDonald's on a platonic, non-romantic date with President of Syria, Bashar al-Assad. I just really like this. But you get some interesting insight into the author's thoughts when creating this. It's often useful to get into their state of mind. But when they told their ELA teacher this, She said it was unrealistic. The author called her a, quote, fat bitch, and then sent her to the Principal's office. If you're reading this, Mrs. Wilson, fuck you, fat bitch. I happen to agree with the author on this point. I will get back to this later. This is the one that I saw on the front page because my routine on DeviantArt, which is not perverted, there's nothing sexual about it, I'm not a pervert, is to search for various key terms on a regular scheduled basis. One of them is the name of any politician who's running for 2020 president. In this case, it was Joe Biden. This is how I found this, and this is the one that I saw first. This is Pete Buttigieg, who is, quote, Joe Biden's homosexual friend, who now works at Wendy's. Yikes, man. It's a downgrade. I like this one. We both want Baconator. The fact that I can, one, see Joe Biden saying this more than Peridot now, given his past few media appearances, and two, the moral of the story, saying that gay people can be there just like you and me, and they can be everywhere, not just at pride parades. I really enjoy the concept of someone who literally thinks that gay people can only go out on pride parades and doesn't understand otherwise. There's some problematic content in the the description. Biden gay friend Pete Buttgag. If I can't say Pete Buttjug, you cannot say Pete Buttgag. Apparently this person worked at Wendy's last summer, and their boss cares about them, unlike their teachers. Again, the image size claims to be 1024 x 768. It is not. This is really funny. They just keep doing this. The images just keep being small. Like, that got me every time. And I know it's cheap. I don't care. To go back a bit, one thing that you'll notice is that the Transformers don't interact with Peridot and Joe Biden. They do once later on, but it takes a while. I usually get them in side plots. Like here, for example, with the Austin IRS building. You have them here with another, I assume, Call of Duty Zombies character. It's fighting an Imperial Star Destroyer. It looks like it looks like an Imperial class, not a Victory class, I believe. And then Peridot, actually, I forgot Peridot was in the bottom right corner of this one. I have to check. I'm tired of gamer harassment, vent art. This is so sad what they go through every day. Us Gamres have a dark side. If you don't like gaming, then fuck off, motherfucker. All this is true, of course. When I was in school the other day, the football team's quarterback pushed me into a locker and called me, quote, dweeb shitman. Why haven't I seen this before? This is really good. Because I told him that Vito game is better than football. Yeah, well, that guy got coronavirus from his center, so who's laughing now, bitch? Yeah, video games are good. Anyway, you see the Call of Duty crosses over. This is important to me. Call of Duty Zombies crosses over with Joe Biden and Peridot, such as here, where they are apparently at somewhere called Derise, and then talk to Tolton up here. But the Transformers don't interact with Peridot or Joe Biden until the very end, or I should say very recently in terms of when they were uploaded. This one's really good as well. I believe this one's normal size, yeah. May 10th, 1940, no historical significance to that date. There's the reason he is spelling and speaking gibberish, of course, is because we were in the land of France. Interestingly, he says on, and then switches to Swolmen, which I believe is Finnish, then Koikaravaka, which I believe is also Finnish, and then Federalna Republika Yugoslavia, which I believe is Slavic language, if not Serbian, then maybe Russian, but not in Cyrillic, I'm not sure. And then back to French, on. They go to the capital of Africa. Paris is the capital of France. A local speaking gibberish language, and you smell like onion. This is cribbed from Futurama, but otherwise, I like that one a lot. Just because he goes back to French at the very end. I think it's a good touch. I don't know who MC Wright is or what stubbing is to. I don't know what the fuck this one is at all. This one's interesting because Trump is complaining about turning green, but I thought him being Frog was good. He's smiling. He likes it. So-called President Trump, I'm voting for Joe Biden, I'm dumping you for him. This is another crossover with anime, because in anime, your chattel slavery can in fact be in a consensual sexual relationship with you. You might think that this is an inherently contradictory concept. Anime does not follow standard moral rules, as you should all know. Bernie Sanders smiling in the bottom right. I'm not sure why. This image shows events from before Peridot date Joe Biden. Peridot dump Trupham for being yucky green frog with no nose. No nose. Yeah. Well, wait. Okay, she says, is something wrong with green drumpf, which is a good burn, drumpf. But then dumps him for being green. So apparently she thinks there's something wrong with being green. I thought this is one of the weaker points of this author's work. An internal contradiction on the same image with its description is pretty sloppy. And this is where I cut off. This one's not very good, but I just want to note that 2 weeks ago when I found this, this is Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force getting his car destroyed. The moral story is that you should not shoot cars. It's like what Moses said when Pharaoh refused to let the Hebrews go. Avenged Sevenfold is my favorite, and then trails off, of course, because it's not a real quote. Carl from Aqua Teen Hangar. All right, I forgot about that one. That was really good. His car gets shit by Los Angeles gangbangers, and cars say ah. I think this is from Grand Theft Auto 5. But I'm not sure. This is where I picked back up today when I rediscovered or reminded myself of this account. Joe Biden and Peridot go to atheist convention. I've been glossing over this in the past several minutes, but Joe Biden and Peridot are technically, I suppose they're Christian, but their personalities lean towards just being anti-atheist. They just don't like atheism in general. Maybe like a militant deist would, I guess, be the best way to put it. I mean, they have the Bible, but they called it the Quran at one point. This is an important message from. They're all wearing masks, not because of coronavirus, which is what I thought, but it's because they're atheists. The lesson here is that God has cursed atheists with fatal smell, obesity, and superiority complexes. Bracket it me close bracket. You should not associate with atheists because it's bad for your health. Okay. Oh, I forgot this for a while. This one was really good. I'm going to skip up a bit because this one's one of my favorites. It really encompasses everything I love about this genre. And it's Joe Biden and Peridot at GameStop. Peridot could not find Doom Eternal, but fortunately, Joe Biden pre-ordered it on Steam. And the author is excited about Steam and digital copies in general. This is, again, the trailing off with future Google searches by accident. One of my favorite bits in this. You can see that the moral of the story, you should get a Steam account, blah, blah, blah. And then Rule 34, Avenge Sevenfold. I haven't Googled that yet, but when I do, I will provide follow-up in the next episode. Moving on from that, you see Dr. Monty gets mad at Kylo Ren and Rey Skywalker fighting in their yard. That's a lot of exclamation points. I'm not really sure what that's about. I don't really care. This is Biden and Peridot finding a skeleton scary. You might think that there's some more good bits in there. No, it's just they run away form skeleton. I think there's an art form to having good typos and good flow and syntax in your intentional typos when you're adopting a personality or a persona like this, and they're quite good at it. I mean, not on the level of someone like, I don't know, the Share Zone, but I mean, this is solid stuff. And now we're getting to, okay, first of all, there's Joe Biden with another gold scar. If you recall, further down here, he has a gold scar again as well, except this time is in COD Zombies. This time is in Fortnite. This is Optimus Prime and the COD Zombies crew versus Hamburglar. But this is the one that I found most interesting because maybe my Google searching isn't enough, and this is a place that really exists in other areas other than where I searched. But according to the Google search, Funnyland is an amusement Discovery Zone type place that only exists in Diego Garcia, Mexico. There was one Yelp review. It was in Spanish. It seemed good. It was a 4 out of 5. You notice that at this point in their progression, image size 1300 by 856, they're getting more of their images are normal size, which is kind of disappointing and kind of relieving because I don't have to fucking zoom in anymore. But it was also kind of the charm. Anyway, they want to steal from this funny land. It isn't funny. That is true. It's more of an amusement rather than humor park. Joe Biden shifts into an Italian mobster accent. Makes your dare no witnesses. I think what I find most interesting about this isn't any of the actual content. It's the existence of Funnyland. Again, I can only find the one location in Diego Garcia and Mexico. If you have any information about Funnyland other than this, please inform me. I am desperate. Thank you. We're getting close to the end of, sadly, the content. There was one new one today, which I'm pretty happy about. But I'm going to finish with my favorites and get to my final thoughts. I'm not going to click this one, but it is Brutus watching his favorite PBS Kids television show. Brutus, I believe, is from Transformers. I don't fucking know. This is Joe Biden and Peridot make hot dog. Have this shit for brains. I think this is the most... What I find interesting about this is what the fuck is going on with the hand. The bottom part looks kind of okay. The top part looks like the dancing baby gif from like 2000 or 1996. This is from the St. Louis rally, which I guess published March 14th. I guess it was 3 weeks ago that I found this first. I don't know. I don't remember this one. But they're in St. Louis. Yeah, this is the speech where he said nothing and then ran away. But since we brought the grill, we get first hotted dog, which, thank you. I deserve this. I don't understand. I mean, even for them, the insertion of the tank and the grill at the bottom, like this is, what the fuck is wrong with this hand? I don't like this. Fuck this, dude. I hate this hand. It's really weird looking. This is where we finally get the long-awaited crossover between their Transformers content, which has a comic strip in the top. Can you even read? No, you can't read that. There's a comic strip, I assume Transformers inserted in the top left. Megatron is invading the Crystal Gem planet because they piss him off. Fuck you. They piss me off too. They're a vehicle for social justice, posing to infiltrate pedophilia and ephebophilia into the broader LGBT movement. They piss me off as well. Five-Finger Death Punch makes a return. It is spelled correctly this time, sadly. But there are 5 exclamation points, which I enjoy. But... I don't think that he's jumped, or she has jumped the shark yet, but that's getting close. They should have never interacted, those two. I liked it better when they were in 2 separate continuums. This, on the other hand, bringing a different gem into the... That's a lot of exclamation points, first of all. Second of all, well, that is rude. I really don't know what I did that justifies you being such an asshole to me. Seriously. I'm just imagining somebody else telling someone else to go into the camp, and then that's the reply. Like, that's not going to work, dude. Decepticon Nitro just attacks an innocent Ruby. A re-education camp. Whew. Did not think it was that kind of camp. Alright, and this is the most recent one. I thought I only saw this today. When was it uploaded? Yeah, March 30th. It was a couple days ago. They're fighting the Combines from... Combines from Half-Life? Yeah, Half-Life 2. That's not really a good lesson. I think we already... They're worse than the dirt on my shoe. This bitch does not wear shoes. Why didn't he have his gold scar? I'm really scared that PERIDOTXJOEBIDENFAN is jumping the shark with this. No gold scar, trademark. Is not wearing shoe or shoes. Combine and their are there Combine sympathizers? I've never played Half-Life 2. Location City 17. Is that a Half-Life thing? No, it's in Left 4 Dead. Or no, it's in Half-Life. Okay, whatever. Grodd and Free. Shoot at combies. Is this supposed to be combines or zombies? Are they zombies? I've never played that fucking game. I don't know. But at least they got away from the planet being destroyed, and they are now in. As we leave off, they're in the resistance of Gordon Freeman and shoot at combies. This is like my first time seeing the ones from the ones that I hadn't seen as of about 5 or 6 days ago. And this is really disheartening. I was a big fan of this stuff. Like what is this? What am I? I have not seen. Oh, this one's really small. What the fuck is the size? Look at this. It's 2560 x 1440 pixels. I haven't. Explaining abandoned Binnaker in Montana State when they're attacked by zombie. Zombie kill old friend known as Bill Clonton. Woo! Got one. Oh, that's the first gold scar. God damn, this thing's tiny. Why the fuck is this so small? I think that's when they jumped the shark. Is when they started. When did they start going from large images to small images? Was it the Saskatchewan? Okay, this is Joe Biden goes to Saskatchewan. The moral of the story here is that Saskatchewan is shit and has no infrastructure and is the worst province in Canada. This is, of course, all true. Peridot is lost in walking to find a city, but there is no city in Saskatchewan, so there will be no help. It was slightly before this, if not even further before this. Maybe it was Biden. Biden does not like stoners. Obama, you're dead to me. Weed is bad. Again, correct. You'll go to hell. Correct. He's buying Daldo for Peridot. Damn it! I didn't read the comment or the description of this one. The web. Stoners killed Peridot's mom back in 1989. Interesting. I also hate stoners because they like to bully me and they smell bad. There was one about a bully. Hang on, this is important for the PERIDOTXJOEBIDEN extended universe. There was something about a bully named Alex that I need to find, and I may have to scroll back. Peridot was definitely in it, so I need to find. Oh no, wait, no, she does. It wasn't necessarily. It was about the author's bully. Excuse me. I'm gonna find that real quick. Richthofen and Godzilla and Optimus Prime help in the war against drugs? Hang on. First thing we do is get that crack off your hands, boy. Don't do drugs or I will kill you violently. That's sweet, dude. There's some... I would believe that Biden and Duterte are kind of like Pete. They would love... Dude, Biden and Duterte would love each other. But right now I'm more interested, honestly, in finding that bit where Peridot talks about her bully. Fuck. I'm not leaving until I find this fucking bit. I really want to see it. Because his name was Alex Smith, and I just thought about the quarterback. No, this is the one where Joe Biden comes out as trans. Fuck. I'll find it later. The point is that this person gets bullied. This is one of the hardest ones I've seen in a long time. The last one I saw that was this good was Tim Burton Lover, 1993, who was, in my opinion, famous for her drawings of extremely racist old cartoons. My opinion on her is subscribe to the Patreon to find out. But she is a follow-back fave on Twitter, so shout-outs to Tim Burton Lover, 1993. With her, I figured out eventually that it was serious and that these racist caricatures of Asian and Hispanic men fucking each other and sucking each other was sincere. This one I'm not so sure about because at first I thought it was an FSB election interference squad because these memes are fucking good. But the more bullying references I see, the more I think that this person might just be kind of funny. What the fuck cartoon is this? Is that Family Guy? It says PBS Kids. Okay. Oh, Brutus is from Mob of the Dead Call of Duty map. Was picked up by his grandmother and purchased McDonald's for him. That's sweet. Because the persona being created here almost seems too good to be. They're so specific. Like what fucking show is this? Like why? Who would come up with this on purpose as a joke? Like Joe Biden and Peridot going to Build-A-Bear. You can't make an evil or scary teddy bear because your parents will take it away for using it to scare your brother. This is some clickhole shit. I really like this. I love this shit. But the only issue I have... Look at the size of this image. 6 megabytes? It should be 6 kilobytes. Jesus. If you have a theme, if you have something good, you stick with it. But I'm happy to say, despite this, it's one of my favorite DeviantArt accounts, and I'm proud and privileged to say that a couple of days ago, I decided to bravely leave a comment that said that this content bumps, and they replied in all caps, "Thank you, stranger." However, as we know from our previous investigation, this comment and then "thanks for letting me know" are insincere or from the persona, and then this one says "thank you" is the sincere reply because it's in lowercase. This is my favorite one that I've found in quite a while. My favorite in 2020 easily, DeviantArt, and then this is. I didn't look at the description of this, so we're gonna. Oh, this is a nice typo. Confront the Hamburglar for stealing all his Hargers. Good on Tim. Fuck the Hamburglar. I hope he dies. Hargers is a that is a masterclass, like the share zone level typo. And this person is a location to Pentagon. This is really good. Oh man, I like this content a lot, and I hope that they I'm on the edge of my seat to see more so than, like, I don't know, Game of Thrones or like The Witcher. I'm on my seat to see where this goes in the next season. This is deep lore. I am a lore baby. Thank you.